We are now back on Mars. I know it says offline 169 hours, 28 minutes. And we've made 3.4 quadrillion just in the last week. But what many of y'all don't know is it's actually been 2 weeks since we've been able to appear on YouTube with Mars. Because, well, last week either me or my PS4 screwed up. And after being able to go from 0 to 80 angels after making 71.5 trillion the first week, we have 80 angels that have been at work for the last week, and we've made 3.4 quadrillion. And now this week we're going to see where Mars can truly go. Of course, Big Daddy is here, and we are really happy and excited to be bringing this content. As you can tell and as you can see, Mars is definitely a different animal. I mean, even after a week, 3.4 quadrillion, there are still 3 separate things we can't even purchase yet because we don't have enough money. And that's after 2 weeks of this been going, so it's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. When you look at the overall here, I don't know what the unlikes are like, but there's that, and you know, what more could you ask for, you know? That's the unlocks. We have a lot of things to look forward to. So how many angels do you think we have? We had 80, and I'd love to be able to block it off so that we can go there before we pull it, but I had to guess, I'd say we have about 125 to 150 to bring on board. I just think it moves that slow. Just call it a guess, call it whatever you want to, but I just think it moves that slow. So let's look. 3, 2, 1. 482 angels to add on. That's 3 times as many, more than 3 times as many as I thought. That's pretty good. I will take it. Without a doubt, I will take it. That brings our total up to 562 angels. Where are we going to go from there? Well, I'm not going to get any of the easy upgraders or any of that. And as far as angel upgrades, you can't do anything on Mars until you have 100 billion angels. Now, one thing that tells me is that you must be able to accumulate angels fairly quickly in the long run. So, I guess we're going to find that out, hopefully. Because instead of a penny, you start off with 13 cents for a red dirt. Not bad. So, let's take this up. Oops. I went too far. I wanted to stop at 10. All right. Now, the manager, I believe, is $75. No, $100. Well, that's even better, isn't it? So we're getting up to $100. And then we'll start the process of getting that first manager on board and going from there. So there we go. Red is on the case. And now we're going to bump up to 100. Which, as you remember, every couple of hundred now double or triples it. So now suddenly we're up to $484. So now we're starting to make money a little faster. Of course, there it is again. We can get the manager for Marsies. And get the first 100 Marsies out of the way. And then the next 100 Marsies out of the way. So 27,100, that's not bad. Boom, now we're making over 10 grand a split second on red dirt. Always a positive. And as you can see, we are moving up fairly quickly. 39,200 a split second. 135,000 per second. We're getting a lot of money. We've made over $3 million back, and as you know, it doesn't take much We got our first 100 men for $26.4 million every, what, 8 seconds. And now we got the manager, and we can multiply the red dirt by 33, and now that's 1.295, and it's those upgrade multipliers times 33. The first time around, of course, when you get far enough along, it goes to times 66. So you can tell it's definitely a big deal. A couple hundred more of those. All right. And now we're up to 52.4 million. Wow. Hey, you know what that means? We can do the Marsies for 500 million. And now that's 82.6 million. So now the money's coming in fast. We've got billions of dollars. We now have the Buggles manager. And that's a good thing, because the Buggles are a lot more expensive, but they also push out a lot more money. As you can see, with $980.9 million already, and the ability to go ahead and add 10 more. Make that 3.9 billion with a B. Billion. And I think we can do it again. Yep. And it doubles up 10, 20, 40, 80, etc. on Buggles when they get their next step up. $15.6 billion later, and we're kind of rolling. Now, the next upgrade is for the men. These right here would be times 33 after we raise $100 billion. That may take a while to get there. But, you know, wow. And now you look, we're up to 192.3 million. I mean, it just goes really fast. You start escalating that red dirt up in every couple of hundred. Once you get up to 4,000, it takes 300 to get the next multiple instead of 200. But by then, you're in the trillions. So it's a pretty good deal. As you can see, we're getting ready to hit that multiplier on the men. That's going to take us up to the next standard on that one. Always a crowd pleaser. Here we go. 8.7 billion every 8 seconds. Wow. And 1.2 billion in less than a second on the Marsies. So as you can see, we're elevating pretty quickly on the finances. The real question is, are we actually going to be able to truly advance past the ambassador stage at all after this restart? You would think getting an extra 480 angels, which is 960% more of a bonus, we ought to be able to make a legit run. And now we're getting 65.45 billion every 8 seconds from the men. So now, you know, we ought to make a legit run. 62.7 billion out of your Buggles. I mean, we're definitely moving in the right direction. No new angels yet, but that's okay. As you know, the manager for the heck portals is 400 billion. We're going to go in and get him. And then we don't have any more upgrades until we have $19 trillion built up. That's probably going to take a while. We may or may not get to it. It really depends on if we can get the heck portals opened up. I believe we can. For one, anyway. Always go ahead and get those started. Try to build up as best you can. And now you're up to 5 for 31.7 billion. That's really not a bad deal. But now, as you can see, it's going to slow down slightly on the heck portals. I mean, even the heck portals are going a little bit, you know, a little bit harder to get all the gains out of. Let's go ahead and buy 10 more of those. And that made them faster. To me, that was important, because now instead of 30 seconds, it's only 15 seconds on the Buggles, and for 78.4 billion to come just a little bit faster, not a bad thing at all. We're up to 10 heck portals for 63.4 billion. So we're making the move up, but until we can get up into the trillions, it's going to be really, really hard to pull that off. And now we've got the red dirts once again bumped to 629.6 million. That's looking really good. The next upgrade for Marsies is 3.33 at 750. So that's not a bad thing at all. The next unlock for men is 400. The next unlock for Buggles is at 150. So we've definitely got possibilities. 4.8 billion now on the Marsies. They continue to move up. Their next bump up is going to be pretty big. I can guarantee that because, well, you're talking about both getting a bump up for money, the amount, and also cutting the time in half. So it's a double up there. And now 2 billion a split second from the red dirt. So as you can see now, it's going up fast. We're going to be hitting that trillion mark pretty quickly. Now I don't know exactly how quickly it will feel, but here we are, moving up slowly on the Buggles up to 120, still putting 94.1 billion. But as fast as that's going now, oh my goodness, it's coming fast and furious. You have to love how quickly it's coming. And again, we still got that upgrade a long way away. Investors are not coming on just yet. I mean, really, we're sitting here. We got 1.1 trillion in the bank. But there's not a ton we can do just yet. I'm thinking the next really good move is going to be when we hit 2.3 trillion and we can buy 10 more of those heck portals and double that up to 120 something million. But it takes a full minute. It takes a full minute for those things to completely find their way. So that's going to be interesting. Right now we can get 79 more men. Now the next upgrade for men is ×5. So, you know, you're talking about probably going up to something like 400 billion in 8 seconds. That's a pretty good deal. That is a pretty good deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and buy 10 more heck portals. Takes that up to $126.998 billion. And I'm starting to think that it might be a good time to kick this in. Look at that. Now, like I said, normally you can hit this square button and keep that at 29 seconds for as long as you possibly want. I don't know that we'll necessarily want to do that. I mean, and that's how it works, right there, just like that. But this profit surge doubles everything. Heck portals at 253.9. You know, the Buggles at 188.3. Lots of money being made. And I believe, boom. So now we're at 2.2 trillion. I'll admit, I'm going to take it up. This is the last time. We're going to let this 29 seconds run out. We're going to let these trillions get added to our bankroll, and then we're going to see where we can end up. Because I'd like to think we can make a run at getting that Buggle bonus before we finish. I'm just not sure we're going to be able to pull that out. We are going to easily go past close to 6.5 trillion by the time this little profit Martian runs out. There it is. And now we're pushing 7. So there you go, 7 trillion. Plus, we're up to 25. Not too bad. So now we got the next Buggle. And now it's trying to decide which one we want to do. Because it's kind of a hard decision. I think it's smarter right now to go to the men, because the men are going to put 436.3 billion every 8 seconds. Now, we might double that up and turn it into, 320 or 350 billion, but it's every 15 seconds. So I think financially, right now, made a lot more sense to go ahead and bump up the men rather than the Buggles. I mean, that being said, we can still bump the Buggles every so often, still move things up. We went ahead and made the profit on the Marsies go up to 16.8 billion. I mean, we are pushing money up. It's not a bad thing. We're almost ready, and my worries were confirmed. You know, we would have only been in the 230 to 245 billion range on Buggles if we'd have went ahead up at the 150 we sent to the men. The men put us up to 436 in just over half as much time. So financially, that was a much better decision for us. And now we still get to come back and bump up towards 235.4. So there's plenty of money coming in. I don't think there's going to be any problems over the next week with the amount of money, but I still don't feel like we've really hit the potential of what should have happened with adding 480 angels. You know, and we're gonna eventually triple this one up, and suddenly it's gonna be 6 billion a split second, and it's gonna start going up a lot faster. But we're still a long way away, from where I feel like we ought to be. I mean, even bumping the red dirt to 6.611 billion a split second, and you see it just moving much faster. I just don't know. I gotta say, right now, we have got 2 more angels ready to come on board, and that's really nice to already see angels coming on board. But I'll be honest, I'm kind of a little bit disappointed. Bump up from 25 to 30 on the heck portals. I mean, that's really what we're looking at. 1.333 trillion coming on board there, takes it up to 3.7. As you can see, it's not really hard. The Marsies are going up. We quicken the pace on the Marsies. That'll make it even faster. I doubt we're going to come up with another 200 red dirt. That would send that up to, nearly 14 billion a split second. And I don't think we're going to get anything else as far as men and Buggles. I mean, the next unlock on the Buggles is 200. That's not going to be cheap. And 10 ambassadors is 924 trillion. And I'll almost guarantee we're not going to be buying 10 ambassadors anytime soon. The manager for the ambassadors is 100 trillion. I mean, if we're going to do anything, it's going to be to sit back and wait and see what 19 trillion will do. I mean, once we get that 19 trillion from the Buggles, which is only 7 trillion away right now, and of course, Heck Portals just put another 1.3 in, so now it's less than 5. And I think by the time those Heck Portals come to fruition, we're going to have enough to multiply the men by 33. Now, 436 billion times 33 will put us in that 13 trillion, maybe as high as 14 trillion area. At least it should, if my math is somewhat even remotely correct. And that kind of a bump may be what actually makes this something that we can get excited about. So let's see. Boom! Oh! 7.7 trillion. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. It wasn't the men, it was the Buggles. Still, 7.7 trillion coming every 15 seconds. It's definitely a lot more money. Definitely a lot more wonderful things that are going to be able to happen. I like the fact that we do have more intact for us on that. So we'll go ahead and add another 10 heck portals up to 40. That takes it up to 1.7. And I'm pretty excited. I'm not sure we're going to be able to wait to get up to 50 heck portals. I know for a fact we're not going to be able to sit and wait to get to 1 quadrillion to do the times 33 on the heck portals. So we're just kind of in that weird moment. And I really wish we could have waited to right now to do the profit margins, because we'd really be in a good shape now. But you look at the Angels, 8 and counting. So pretty good deal. If you ask me, we got 8 and counting, and I think that means that by the time we come back next week, we're probably going to have at least 2,000 or 3,000 that we can add, and that's even going to make it an even stronger situation for profit here on this world. So I'm pretty excited. We're about 10 trillion away from being able to buy the last 10 heck portals. The heck portals get a times 7 bump, which if I had to guess is going to take it up to around 14 trillion. And again, that's gonna give us a higher profit margin for the period. Definitely not going to have a problem coming up with more than 3.5 quadrillion over the course of a week. 15.5 trillion. I was wrong. So there we are. This may be where we're at. I'd like to try and maybe get another bump on the red dirt. I'd love to see that. It's possible, but it's going to be costly. It's just going to be very costly. It's going to take another 29 million to get that extra 100, but that'll take it up over 20 billion a split second, and that's going to put us in a pretty good spot. So, and I think that's something we got to seriously look for. Oh man, look at how close we are now. We're probably going to get the next Marzi bump as well. This is a good position. I'm enjoying it. There we go. Quickening the Marzies up. Honestly, not a bad place to be in. You see that number going fairly quickly. It's already back over 7. We're up to 14 investors and counting. So we're going to see quite a big bump next week. I really believe next week is the week we see some serious movement on moving past those heck portals. I mean, I'm just really excited about it. I don't know what all we can do here to close this out. Put a couple more bumps on those buggles. What is the next bugle? 200, right? Yes, it is. Yeah, we're not going to get there. There's just way too much going on. 61.8 just to get up to 190. Probably not going to get there during the course of this episode, but it definitely gives us a next level to shoot for, as that would take us up over past the 20 trillion mark on that one. Those Marzies and the Marzies are really clicking away, and the red dirt, 7 billion a split second, really giving us a great pace for the course of this next week, and I'm pretty excited about that. But I think we're going to start getting ready to wrap things up here. I don't really think that there's much more that we're going to be able to do. I think we've got everything up as far as we can go. Maybe if we'd have put off a little bit longer on the profit margin, if we'd have waited just a little bit longer on that, maybe we would have been able to do something different. But we'll go ahead and get that next 10 on the buggles. But I'm not going to sit back and wait for 121.6. That's just not going to happen. Like I said, if we'd had the profit margins, I might have done it. But no, I mean, 15% of the way is probably the best we're going to get. So we're going to call it here. Go ahead and leave us a like. It really helps the channel a lot when you watch the video. If you enjoy the content, to hit that like button. Also, give us a subscribe and hit that notification bell if you're new to the channel. We try to put out a lot of different videos, from Minecraft to Ark Survival Evolved to venture capitalists like you're seeing here. So make sure to join our Discord as well. We've got our Discord finally back up, revamped, and ready to roll. We've had a little bit more activity, and so we'd like you to be part of the fam. Come on out and be part, and give us your 2 cents worth on what you think are some of the best games out there. What are some of the strategies for the game we play? And just generally be part of the community. We'd love to have you. Until next time, this is Big Daddy signing off from Mars. Take care, everybody.